We also had an interesting fixture in the middle of the table. Chelsea and Liverpool faced each other on Saturday. Very, very boring game, in my opinion. Both teams battling for, who will finish higher than the other in 9th or 10th. But yeah, will Chelsea or Liverpool make it into the Champions League this season? Erling Haaland, another hat-trick at home. That's his 4th hat-trick of the season.
I love him.
I'm 25 goals this season.
Because I said Haaland scored the hat-trick and I just knew that every single one of those goals will be inside the 6-yard box. Right. This guy has the easiest job in the whole world.
It's not an easy job.
No, it's not an easy job, but it's like I knew all goals would be in the 6-yard box. And I literally
what a striker is meant to do.
It's just so easy for I guess, okay, so you're going to get credit for that. You're going to break on the record. But I feel like that point I just made is why people are going to say Mbappe is better than him.
We're going to get right into it, right? A lot has been said. And the question of today, will Arsenal win the league? Is it done and dusted? Is it in the bag for Arsenal? Let us start off with that. Of course, don't forget, in the comment sections, you can put your thoughts below. Anywhere you're watching this, do you think Arsenal will win the league? Of course, Arsenal defeated Manchester United, one of their title rivals, quote and unquote, even though the title battle lasted for just a couple of days. But yeah, you can say title rivals because there was just a few points between Arsenal and Manchester United, first and third, for the past couple of days. But Arsenal have put distance or daylight between themselves and the 3rd and 4th. So it is now between Arsenal and Manchester City. But again, I put it to you guys, will Arsenal win the league?
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. It just feels like that Leicester season where nobody could believe it. We didn't believe what we were seeing, but it was happening. And after 21 years, I guess it's fair that they actually won the league. I mean, imagine if Man City wins it.
Again, 7 times in 6 seasons.
Come on, that's nasty. As a Man United fan, it's getting too much. It's really getting, even one was too much. So now, like.
Okay, but Shopsy, what do you think?
Will Arsenal win the league? I think that's a good question, but before I get to that question,
No. Stick to the question. We're going to analyze the game first. We're going to analyze the games of the weekend. But the question is, will Arsenal win the league?
I don't know if Arsenal win the league.
Okay.
But what I do know is that match I watched yesterday, Arsenal looked like a team that can win the league. They were quite clearly... Arsenal looked like a complete team. They look like they perform at the level City and Liverpool have performed in recent times. And if you actually look at the stats, at this point in the season, only like 5 other Premier League teams have amounted more points than now. So it looks like they win the league, but man, I can't look away from
that's
City.
A political
talking about
stats.
stats. The Arsenal invincible season at this point in their number of games did not have 50 points. At this point, they had about 45 points thereabouts. So this Arsenal is actually performing way better than that Arsenal.
The best Arsenal side we've ever seen in the Premier League.
And the only team that has actually beaten them this season was that Manchester United team that probably shouldn't have even won that game if Arsenal they looked like the better side. But moving on from that, let us really go into the game, right? Arsenal played better than Manchester United over 90 minutes, and they ended up winning the game. Eddie Nketiah with 2 goals. And yeah, it was a very, very good day for Arsenal.
Yeah.
For Arsenal forward.
They were always going to edge it, at home with the momentum, and they're the best team in the league right now with the way they're playing. It's like Man City that year, Liverpool that year. You just know when you're coming to their house, they're going to win. But I was really surprised with how Man U approached the game. Even though Arsenal played them, I really didn't think Man U played that well at all. And they surprised me. I thought it was going to be 3-0, 3-1.
You thought Man U played well?
Yeah, I thought they played decently. Like against an Arsenal team, when you play against another team that you know is good and they're playing better than you, you can't just imagine that you come and just stifle them and then you just overpower them. That's ridiculous.
I mean, it went down to the line at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Day, right? I did not expect 2-2 at 90th minute. I was like, wow, how we did this situation? Then they broke my heart. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, Shopsy, the game.
So yeah, it was a good game, but I feel like that 3-2 scoreline flatters Manchester United actually watching that game. So United scored first, and they were in the lead, and then Arsenal scored immediately after. So that league was wiped away.
6 minutes after.
6 minutes after, sharp, 1-1. Then Arsenal scored again to make it 2-1, and then it was 2-1 for quite a while.
No! Manchester United actually came back right after.
So, okay, United scored that their goal, which I feel that goal was against run of play, was kind of scrappy. Good header for Martinez.
Goal.
Yeah, his first goal.
Yeah, good header, but it was kind of scrappy as in keeper off his line. The keeper pushed it out because his player was in his way, then he headed it back.
But talk about the
good goal.
That's say Nketiah's goal was scrappy as well.
I'll get to Nketiah's goal now. So, but the point I'm actually trying to make here is that when Martinez scored and it was 2-2, it was clear which side was looking for the other goal.
Of course.
And Arsenal were on top most of that game.
Yeah, of
then
course,
even
in
when
Emirates.
Nketiah did get his goal, and at 3-2, there was still a little bit of time left. And for time, I even thought, it was like Arsenal want to score again.
Of course.
So they clearly look like better across games. I think the 3-2 flattered, because even when you look at like the raw numbers, the expected goal
I wouldn't
numbers,
say it flattered.
when you look at the expected goal numbers, Arsenal reached their most expected goals that they've had in the season. The amount of touches they had in United's box was the most touches any Premier League side has had in an opposition box. United's expected goal was actually like 0. So like Marcus Rashford's goal was an incredible goal, and then the Martinez goal was a scrappy goal. So it's not like you guys really broke them down for either of those two goals. It was individual brilliance and the luck. So I feel it 3-2 looks like, and the
Luck?
Yes, look now. If Martinez, if the keeper is drumming for the ball, his player is standing for and then pushes it right.
I'm sure this is not
So
the
Nketiah's
first.
goal was not
No,
luck.
so I'm sure this is not the
I don't
first
think
match
Nketiah's
of
goal
football
was
you've seen where someone dominates the whole match and the other team
Ends
counters
up
and win.
winning.
Like this is
And
normal
in that
football.
case, I would have said that the result was against the run of play. That team was clearly better. So looking at that
Yeah.
match over 90 minutes, I feel like 3-2 looks as if United could have been close. They could have held on. I feel like if United did hold on, it would have been unjust. Arsenal were clearly the better
Okay, let's move on.
side.
Let's move on from that.
Like,
Like,
clearly.
Yas, any last words on that?
No, I agree. It's fine.
Okay, but in my opinion, I feel like, just to wrap things up, Arsenal looked like the more, the fitter side in that game, considering the fact that Manchester United had 3 games in 8 days, right? And Manchester United had to travel to London for both of their last 2 fixtures, right? So imagine that, coming into play, and then also not having a talisman in the shape of Casemiro. It definitely played into the hands of Arsenal, especially as well, remembering that Manchester United enjoyed the fact that they did not have to face Partey in the first game. Yeah. So you have that kind
It's
of,
fair.
that kind of repeat situation. But of course, on top of that, I believe that Manchester United did really well. We've played against the best teams, one of the best teams in England. First loss in 11 games. And at the end of the day, we've come a long way under Erik ten Hag, 7 months into his reign. And this is an Arteta project that has gone on for, for quite some time. So that's definitely something to look for, look up to for Manchester United fans. And moving on from that, we also had an interesting fixture in the middle of the table. Chelsea and Liverpool faced each other on Saturday. Very, very boring game, in my opinion. Both teams battling for, who will finish higher than the other in 9th or 10th. But yeah, will Chelsea or Liverpool make it into the Champions League this season? Shopsy.
Okay, yeah, congrats on your jokes. I know you had that script written out. Very funny, yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
curious.
but as you said, very boring game. I don't think there's much point speaking about
Will
it.
you make it
I'll
to
answer
the
the question
Champions
now. Very boring game. I don't think there's much speaking about that. Will we make it into the Champions League? I think it's still potentially on for Liverpool and Chelsea. In the Premier League, it's all about runs. And if you look at it now with United dropping points against Crystal Palace and then again against Arsenal.
Yeah.
So they've dropped 4 points now. If Liverpool win, that cuts the gap between us to 6 or 7 points. And 7 points in the Premier League is literally nothing. When you're going to play these teams twice, you're going to play all these teams in this mix again. So will Liverpool or Chelsea make it into the Champions League? It's still too soon to tell. I think they're both capable of going on the runs that require them to make it to the Champions League. And if they go on those runs, they'll make the Champions League.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think one of them will, but I don't think both of them will. I can't say who, but I think one of them
Yeah,
will.
but definitely not
Yeah.
both.
Yeah.
That's something that
I think
also,
we have 3 locks already. Newcastle, Man City, and Arsenal.
That's something that I feel like is
interesting.
actually really true. Considering who will go through, maybe one of them, and maybe none of them at the end of the day, because we also do have Newcastle playing really well. Yeah. Newcastle are on 39 points with Manchester United as we speak, and they have very, very healthy goal difference against Manchester United. So they're currently sitting 3rd. So they might be
goal difference on the whole league. They have
22
they
plus
haven't
22
conceded
goals
since November. So
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I mean,
And
so you have to. We
all
should
these
take.
players at the top level, there's really not much that separates players at this level. It's all just about management and every player on the same being on the same page. So Newcastle, they all know that when they cut or something special, they all like the manager. So they play 100% every single game. With Chelsea and Liverpool, you can clearly see there's some sort of disconnect between the managers and the players.
That's why
at
Man
this
U
level,
is
all the players, they're all around the same. Chelsea, Saka, Mudryk, all these guys they're all around the same level of time. If you move Pulisic into Arteta's Arsenal, we'll be running around the place
Pulisic,
if he was fit, if you put him into Arteta's Arsenal, we'll be running around there like
I don't know
Martinelli
about
and
that.
Saka. we've seen this guy perform. We've seen this guy carry a country.
I don't know about that. I can say it's Kulusevski, but not Pulisic.
But that's my point, Chap. They're all around the same level. It's all about all of us being on the same.
Well said, guys. Well said. We should throw that question out to viewers out there. Do you think Chelsea or Liverpool will make it into the Champions League places, moving on for next season? That would be one very interesting one to see. Let us know what you think in the comment sections anywhere that you're watching this. And to just quickly wrap things up on the EPL, we had the major contender for the title against Arsenal. That's Manchester City. They played Wolves and they won.
Fantastic football.
Erling Haaland, another hat-trick at home. That's his fourth hat-trick of the season.
I love him.
I'm
25 goals this season.
Because I said Haaland scored the hat-trick and I just knew that every single one of those goals will be inside the 6-yard box. This guy has the easiest job in the whole wide world.
It's not an easy job.
No, it's not an easy job, but it's like, I knew all goals would be in the 6-yard box. And I literally
what the striker is meant to do.
It's not so easy for I guess, okay, so you're going to get credit for that. You're going to break on the record. But I feel like that point I just made is why people are going to say Mbappe is better than him.
Of course, because the way the football has changed now, they want the modern footballer to be able to do a lot of things. Pass, cross, skills, run, pace,
and I feel like that 6-yard, when he's drawing his blanks, that's the problem because he doesn't do much unless
outside the 6-yard.
But there are games where Mbappe too is actually just out. And just rarely do you see Mbappe score 4 hat-tricks in
a season.
It's just crazy to me. Even before he came to Man City from Dortmund.
Yeah. He was actually putting up his
Salzburg in Germany too.
It's impressive and it's like, impressive, but it just doesn't give me that feeling. It's like, yeah, good, okay, that's what
I love him.
Score. You want to score?
He's effective.
Let's move on.
I need some chaos. I need some Darwin Núñez ball. Passion.
Some Darwin Núñez ball.
Keep your Darwin Núñez ball.
Anyways, let's move on from the EPL now and go into Serie A where big things are actually happening. Juventus, I remember having a conversation with somebody, in the team about the troubles that are currently going on with Juventus. Juventus have been docked 15 points for financial mago-mago.
Yeah.
Amongst other things.
I heard Todd Bowley wants to buy those 15 points for about 35 million. He's splurging.
Is there a Chelsea fan out there? Did you hear that? Yeah. Did you hear? I mean, we're bringing you news, right?
Yeah. So let's see if it comes through. Fabrizio might say something.
But yeah, Juventus have been docked 15 points for false accounting, false financial statements, and market manipulation. Actually, the issue started since 2021. They have been under investigation since 2021. But what happened in 2022 was the investigation against them. The prosecutors actually did not bring their facts correctly, right? They were using transfer markets as, they were talking about, okay, Juventus are using false player valuations to buy players and to sell players. Remember that deal for that player to Barcelona, Pjanic and the likes. So they were talking about Juventus just, giving false valuations and whatnot. So the prosecution said, okay, let us look at transfer markets as a standard. But then the court said, transfer market is not the actual standard for player valuation, right? There's many other things, and whatnot. So that case went, by the wayside. But somebody else came up, some of the financial bodies in Italy, they came up and they said, okay, we're going to hold these guys for false accounting. They're cooking the books, and and just many weird things are happening. In fact, Tottenham's current director of football has been banned because at the time in 2021-2022, he was working, in 2020-2021 during that period, he was working in Italy. So he has been banned from Italian football. And, it's just crazy. Juventus, would they get relegated this season?
No. They won't get relegated. They will definitely stay up, but the Champions League places are gone.
Seems like
maybe,
it's out of it.
They could make it for Europa, which would actually still be very good for them, actually. But I think it's out of it. Because that league is actually quite competitive right now. If you look at how close the points are, it's only Napoli that are just flying.
That's just blowing, yeah.
But everybody else fighting for that Champions League or those Champions League spots, they're doing really well. So I think it's Europa League for them.
Shopsy.
Yes, it's interesting that Juve are in a situation like this yet again because this isn't the first time Juve have been docked points. Last time they were even relegated. Right, guys, I'm just hoping that there should be a lot of players on the market potentially now. They do have good players, so this should be Juventus players. Speaking about Chelsea, maybe it's not the points. They'll probably go for the players. Napoli, this is the clear route for Napoli to win the Serie A. They haven't won it in how many years? This is the greatest season in football for Diego Maradona. Napoli and Argentina want to win.
Wow.
That guy's smiling now. So yeah, Juve, the Champions League spots, that's out of the way. Winning Serie A, that's out of the way. And Napoli, I think you can all but say Napoli are going to win Serie A now.
But Juve did surprise me how they played against
Atalanta yesterday.
Yesterday, I was...
Yeah,
what was the final score?
Like if anyone was going to
3-3,
surprise them, it would have been Juve in the league this season. But no, that's not going to happen.
But talking about the Juve versus Atlanta game, we had one excellent Nigerian playing for Atlanta, Ademola Lookman, who has had a torrid time in the past couple of months in his career, not being settled in one team or the other. Remember, he played at Everton. He couldn't nail a spot. Even in the Super Eagles setup, he hasn't really been able to nail a spot. But in Atalanta, he scored 10 goals already this season. I don't know if he scored another one on top of 11 goals this season. So that's
would
big.
you say it's the environment of the league?
I feel like it's just when things just come together for you as a player. Do you get me? When things just come together and arrange.
Go to Italy.
I think that's a bit of the league.
I think it's a bit of the league.
The Premier League is the Super League, and you can see it's with the money that's spent in the Premier League. So that does the talent that comes into the Premier League is greater than any of those other leagues. And it's just clear to see when players come from one league to the Premier League. Like you can look at Gakpo, Sancho, Anthony.
Gakpo was how many goals did Gakpo score before January?
The intensity does not mix. He scored. He had like what? 20 goals and something. But the intensity of the Premier League is just like no other league in the world. It is. I think it's quite significantly faster, stronger than every other league,
and the scheduling as well also has a role to play.
We play so many games. I feel like we have the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. A few leagues don't even have the two cups; only have one.
They have
cup.
just one. One domestic.
But he's a very good player. I've always rated him. Very fast. He can finish. He has an eye for goals. So seeing him perform now doesn't really come as much of a surprise for someone that's been following Ademola Lookman.
Yeah, that's definitely big. Talking about another Nigerian playing massively well in Serie A, Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen. He's highest goal scorer in Serie A at the moment, banging in those goals for Napoli. If Napoli do win the league, Napoli have a lot to thank Victor Osimhen for. And of course, he's on the radar of some of the other sides, in Europe. So that's definitely something to look out for.
Yeah, I think Osimhen is the best striker available on the market right now. If he wins the Golden Boot first, I think is that an African or a Nigerian who have won the Golden Boot in Serie A. There's two Nigerians going for it. That's quite exciting. But yeah, I think Osimhen, I don't know, you look a little surprised. But I think available on the market, unless you say Harry Kane's on the market.
Yes, Harry Kane. Yes.
I just heard that he might be signing on our contract with Tottenham. But yeah, if Harry Kane's on, but you have to consider Harry Kane is almost 30 years old. Victor Osimhen
is still in his young man bag.
Still best striker. I mean,
Harry Kane is Victor Osimhen.
But that's exactly
on the market. I don't know if I believe that.
Because that's the thing. There's not that many out and out number 9s that are doing what Victor Osimhen. You can say maybe Dusan Vlahovic. But Dusan Vlahovic does not even come near Osimhen in my opinion. So Vlahovic, Osimhen, and Kane on the market. Besides those three, I don't see anybody bigger at the moment. Moving on from Serie A, let's talk about Bundesliga. Bundesliga had about 2 months break that they just went to chill, to enjoy. But now they're back. They played a couple games over the weekend, and the biggest news for me was Sebastian Haller coming back from a testicular cancer, issue, and he made his debut for Borussia Dortmund at last. And he played very well. Dortmund ended up winning the game by 4-3.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love Dortmund's football, and it's always nice to follow their games and watch them. And I can't wait till they win the league again over Bayern someday.
When club goes back. Dortmund. Shout out Dortmund. Shout out Bundesliga. It was exciting to see Jude Bellingham on the score sheet yet again. So those rumors picked up steam. I feel like they're not using Liverpool for the clicks. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Very big news on Sebastian Haller. It would have been good if he scored in this game, but he actually scored in his first game back. It was a friendly game. I scored a hat-trick in like 9 minutes.
That was crazy.
That friendly, he actually did.
He's been working on his mental.
But of course, maybe he does have, he'll need time to really gel with the squad. This is his very first competitive game for, with Dortmund in Bundesliga.
But it's just a victory. Like he's won already.
Yes, actually coming back from cancer and being on the football pitch.
That's his story now. He's won. If you don't do anything else in football, that's a big win for him. Story.
And he's still playing for one of the biggest sides in Europe. So that's definitely very, very big. Before we wrap things up, very, very quickly, I wanted to just talk about something that was very interesting to me. I saw it. I showed you the video. It was a mixed martial arts fight, and one of the fighters was on top of the other fighter. But the fighters, the one under his tooth guard had fallen out. So this guy picked the tooth guard, put it back in the guy's mouth, and then started brushing him like this. That bro, don't worry, I got you, but I'm gonna brush you.
No, and it's actually crazy to see because when I see these MMA fights, I was like, to get to that place of such violence, I want to stress on the ball. But there's still so.
How do you have that humanity and compassion?
Right?
Like,
This is just our jobs.
I'm gonna punch your face in, but I'm gonna make
But I'm gonna make sure it's safe.
I want you to be okay in 2 weeks time. So you can say,
right.
I don't get it.
No blood.
I don't get how human beings go to that place.
I feel like the editor should actually put that video in. I think that's something that really it caught my attention yesterday, and it was really funny. But yeah, kudos to that guy. Thank you for looking out for your guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm punching him after.
Something else that has been catching our attention: the slap boxing championship. That has been crazy.
It's been tough to watch because it's like, how are you people just standing there and taking
I
a
think
slap?
that is the dumbest sport in the world.
Right.
Yeah, I've never like.
I don't know how it's legal.
I understand violence sports, combat sports, and all that. When you're trying to defend yourself as well. Why are you just staying there and
Why are you just standing there and
back to back to prove you're the best slapper in the world?
I think they're practicing. That's the highest practice of Christianity. If they slap you on one side, like the Bible says, just on the other
other
side.
cheek.
That's big. That's some of the things that are going on in the world of sports. But one thing I want to leave you guys with is something interesting that I also found yesterday, and it's about Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo has scored against all the top teams in Europe in all leagues, but there's only one club he has never scored a competitive goal against in his entire career. All the top teams. Look at Serie A, Premier League, Bundesliga, everything. He has scored against all the top 3, top 4 teams in all the leagues. There's only one team he has not scored against. And who's that team? Who's that team? Should I throw it out to you out there? If you're watching this right now, who's the team? Put it in the comment section below. Who's the team? He has actually scored against Manchester United. He scored against Manchester United.
He scored against Man Utd.
In that Champions
Jumped
League.
above everyone.
So let me just break it to you guys. The only team is Real Madrid. Real Madrid, and that's because he played for Real Madrid.
And he hasn't played against them.
He hasn't played against Real Madrid. And as well, he actually did score an own goal against Real Madrid for Granada in the La Liga. But that's besides the point. He has scored against all Premier League sides, all the top Premier League sides, all the top Serie A sides, and I think that's big.
Yeah, congratulations to him. Hey, he had his first game over there in Saudi.
And the fans loved him.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of pictures of some tricks and flicks, but when
I think it's great.
Match rating, he didn't equate to those.
I think it's great. I think he should just be in that league, enjoy himself, enjoy life. You know, he has done a lot for the game of football.
Right.
So
Yeah. Ronaldo has done a lot for the game of football, and the game of football has done a lot for us, fans, viewers, analysts as well. Thank you very much for rocking with us. This is an episode. We'll catch you guys in the next one. But do not forget the question of the day. Will Arsenal win the league? Let us know your thoughts in the comment sections anywhere you're watching this. Another question of the day. Will Chelsea and Liverpool make it into the Champions League places in the Premier League before the end of the season? Or Liverpool, make it into the Champions League places before the end of the season. Thank you guys. Thank you very much, Yas. We actually wanted an Arsenal fan here so that we could go back and forth.
I love you, Arsenal. I'm here for you.
Arsenal fans, they tried to they finesse you guys. No Arsenal fan, but I did my best.
Jerry, that's on Jerry, actually. That's on Jerry. But thank you guys for watching.
I represented well enough.
We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.